Happy Wednesday night. It is Wednesday night tips and tricks night with Speech Time Fun. Welcome to the replay. My name is Hallie Sherman. I'm a speech language pathologist and author of the blog and TPT store Speech Time Fun. Welcome. Come on in, everyone. Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you are joining me on Wednesday night tips and tricks night. Tonight is all about adjectives. I bet you could come up with some choice adjectives about your day. Feel free to write them in the comments if you want to share an adjective to describe your day today before we get started. I would say exhausting. Wet, yes, I agree here. It was raining here. My daughter's followed. Aw. Well, that's so exciting. Satisfying, draining. Wow, these are great adjectives. I like these. I don't know if I can see my students using these adjectives right away, but I like them. Let's get started. Busy, yes, I hear you. Hello and welcome. Hi, how is everyone? My name is Hallie Sherman. I'm a speech language pathologist and author of the blog and TPT store Speech Time Fun. And I am here every Wednesday sharing some quick tips and tricks, some things that you can do tomorrow or in a half hour if you have any, clients in a half hour. But it's anything that you can just pull out of your, toolbox and just use right away. So today I'm going to share with you adjectives. I was working with my students on adjectives recently and I, just realized that I had some tricks that were working and I wanted to share with you. So I am here to share with you some adjective tips and tricks. So, do you find that when you're, I tend to start, when I'm working on describing, I use the EET, or the expanding expression tool. I like to use that first, teach them categories, teach them object function, teach them how things look and where you might find them, the parts, and I use that to start when I think of describing. But then when you say to your students, now give me an adjective to describe a pencil, I find my students go, eraser, school supply. I'm like, no, that's not an adjective. And I find that I often have to really change their thinking from the EET to an adjective. I have to make it different. So I tell them, when you see this wormy guy, you're going to tell me all those different things. But that adjective thing, oh, I will definitely show you the EET. That'll be a great idea. Maybe I'll show that next week. I will definitely bring all my EET stuff home so I can share with you guys how I do it and how I teach each bead. Of course, thank you. And thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. So I like to... after I teach them about the adjective, we do a lot of sorting activities. Okay, which is the EET describing, which is the adjective describing. And I show them that adjective is that one special word. Ned said, ooh, that's a great one, Ned said. And anything that has, hidden pictures or wordless picture books, I use a lot of those things to come up, and I do even search the room activities, I spy with my little eye something that is round. Okay, I gave you one special word. That word round is the adjective, and that's something I like to do to help them distinguish that adjective is that one special word to describe the noun. I'll do, we go over first, what is a noun? A person, place, or thing. And then the adjective is that word that you might see before it that will describe it and give it that special, you can picture it in your mind. And I would do, I'll give them sentences and say, that furry, big, fast, scary dog. And then can you picture it in your mind? I might have them draw on a dry erase board or on construction paper and have them draw that picture that came into their mind of that big, scary, furry dog. And I show them that. I also like to use the 5 senses. So I teach them, okay, when you're coming up with, because it's easy for them to see the sentence and then identify the adjective. But when you have them retrieve it, they have a hard enough time. That's when they're using the EET describing words and giving you categories. So that's when I use the 5 senses. We go over, okay, again, what is the 5 senses? And it's what we use to come up with those describing words. So first I like to show them, I'll give them the pencil, something that's common. Do you use your eyes with a pencil? Yeah, you do use your eyes. Do Do you taste the pencil? I hope not. Does the pencil have a smell? Okay, no, so we can't come up with a word like that. Can you hear a pencil? No. Okay, so we can't come up with a word like that. Can you feel a pencil? Yeah. So, okay, the two senses, what words can we come up with? And we'll, go through some common objects that, we were doing with the EET. Or, things that are surrounding us in my speech room, the computer, some books. People are interested in fun snacks, Starbursts, M&Ms. Let's describe it. And we come up with our adjective list. And then I even sometimes do the reverse. And I'm going to show you right now what I mean. Okay, so sometimes I will give them, they have to try to guess the noun by giving them, okay, so something you can see and it's something you can touch, and I'm giving you the adjectives. Can you come up with the noun? Can you guess it? I bet you can. You guys probably, because I just said it. So yeah, and you can do the reverse. Have them try to guess it, and then they can come up with their own. Can you add to my list? Is there anything else? Why can't you taste a pencil? Come up with a word for tasting, because you don't eat it. So that's something that I like to do. And then I also, feel free to take a screenshot. So you can, and I'm going to show you how I use this, right on my dry erase board. So, okay, ta-da! Here, I just wrote it on my dry erase board. Excuse the very messy handwriting. I was trying to do it really quickly. Oh, you're so welcome. So we just came up with different words, and we did, we went around the room, and I was drinking a bottle of water, so it feels cold. We just went around the room and came up with different adjectives to build to our list, and this way they had a good reference point to come up with their own words, and they had to tell. Not only did they have to come up with their word, they had to tell me how did they know. So that's that. Oh, thank you so much. So obviously there's more adjectives than the ones that, take the 5 senses. But this is a good starting point for students that have the word retrieval issues, and the ones that are just going, it's got an eraser. Well, that's not an adjective. So they need to come up with something to do that. So once you give them the foundation of, okay, what sense do you need? So now that you can touch it, of course, I will show the grid again. You got it. Here's this one. Here's this grid. Do you want me to show you the other one also, or? Okay, I'm going to flip it around. Of course. Here you go. Here's this bad boy. Okay. Oops, sorry, I shook. So, you're so welcome. So once my students are grasping, okay, we need to use the 5 senses to come up with some word to describe, and it's describing, it's not the EET describing, it's an adjective describing, it's that one special word. I use wordless picture books, come up with their own sentences, have them make the other students in the group draw out their, interesting sentences. You can give them a picture from, any book, and they have to come up with their sentence, and everyone else has to write their own picture about it, and they can compare, do our pictures, are they alike, are they not alike? Well, they should be alike if that sentence, that the person who gave the sentence was descriptive enough. We should all have a similar picture in our hands. If we're describing a tree, all of our pictures should look like a tree. If someone was saying that it's tall, that it's green, for example. I love pancakes for breakfast. Another favorite wordless picture book is Zoom. It shows it's zooming in on each page, and so you get to see more and more of it's narrowing in, and the students can do inferencing skills, storytelling skills, and describing skills, and you can build vocabulary and beginning, middle, and end, and all that stuff. I love the snowman story for winter. There's so many. Roar, I think it's Roar. It's a dinosaur one. There's so many wordless picture books. I will post more about that. Chalk, that's what it was. So there's so many picture books that I love because my students are poor readers, and I don't like them to think that it's, going to be difficult of a reading skill. And also they love like telling each other the stories, and they feel like they are like the narrator or the author, and like they're the teacher. It's always like student-centered, which is good. Administrators like that, and that's kind of like the hype in education right now, is student-centered learning. So by using the word list picture book, they can give the adjectives in their own words to tell the story. Another thing I like to do is, we can hunt the room. You can play I Spy. I mentioned that. Oh, the game Telltale. Yes, that is a good one. It's another great for adjectives. And someone mentioned before, Ned's Head, or any sort of hiding objects in a box. I have one from, I think, Lakeshore Learning, where they can feel, touch it and then shake it, hear if there's anything. I sometimes hide objects in a tissue box. Just take little things like a pencil, a glue stick, cotton ball, a popsicle stick, just throw it in, have them reach their hands in, okay, which sense do you need? Can you hear it? If you shake it, yes. Can you taste it? No, you're not tasting it when you put your hands in the tissue box. Can you smell it? Maybe, if I put something in there that smells. Can you feel it? Yeah, what words can you come up with? And then, you can make a chart and try to guess based on what they feel. And then when they take it out, they can add to the list. Another thing I like to do is use YouTube. Show commercials. Obviously, screen them first, make sure it's appropriate, no inappropriate like beer ones or anything. But show a commercial. Yes, headbands is also another great one. Show a commercial and then have them come up with adjectives to describe the product being shown. Was it a good commercial? Was it a bad commercial? Did the advertisers... Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. That wordless picture books. So you can... A virtual speech center. I saw that post of theirs. It was a great list. So you can watch on YouTube, and you can, they can decide, was it a good advertisement? Was it a bad advertisement? Did the advertisers help you picture it in your mind how it would be like to have the new Jordan sneakers? Did you get that grasp? And you can come up with your own commercial. Let's come up with like a newspaper ad. Let's try to do a better job than, the YouTube commercial that you saw. You can come up with their own Instagram, picture, and come up with their own hashtags using adjectives like, fast, smooth, I don't know, whatever, for like Jordans or whatever they're interested in, the Taki snacks, whatever it is. So those are just some ideas to work on adjectives. Like I said, I like to help distinguish between the EET describing and, that one special word to give it, that you can picture it in your mind. And I use the 5 senses. It helps. So you can, show them the 5 senses. Which sense do you need? Come up with the word. Have them try to guess the noun. If you give them which sense and the words that come up with it, give them the visual so they can help retrieve. And then use wordless picture books, YouTube. There's some games like that were mentioned. And have them even narrating sentences to each other and have the others in the group drawing it out and trying to match each other's pictures. Those are different ways that it's student-centered learning. You're giving them the visual cues and you're helping them cue themselves. So those are some ways I like to work on adjectives. I'm going to flip the screen around and show you a link that my blog post is on now with some of these things that we discussed so you can have links. And I also have a freebie. So I'm going to show you the freebie and then also the link. So here's the freebie. Okay, so I have a freebie on my blog post, but it's an adjective 5-sentence sort. So I gave my students the vocabulary words and they had to sort into the correct sense that was needed. And they had fun coming up with then they came up with the different nouns that could have been. And they really struggled with it. Even like my older elementary students really struggled with coming up with the words. And even recognizing that sweet could be smell and taste. So that was hard for some of them. So I am going to show you now the link. So here you go. If you want to just, write that down, or if you want to hop on over to speechtimefun.com, whichever one. But you can head on over there, and this video from this Periscope will be there if you want to catch, again, any of the books or games that were mentioned, or some of these ideas, because some of the ideas in this video are not in that blog post. It's special for you guys who came to listen and tune in live. here it is. Here's the link. And I'm going to flip it around. So, thank you so much for tuning in on my Wednesday tips and tricks night. I hope you enjoyed learning. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed learning more about how I just work on adjectives, and I learned some from you as well. So I love tuning in, having you guys tune in, and we can just collaborate together. I don't know about you, but I'm the one speech pathologist in my school, so it's kind of nice to have people to share ideas with. So again, my name is Hallie Sherman, Speech Time Fun. I hope you can use some of these ideas in your therapy room just easily with a dry erase marker or YouTube. And I will see you next week. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye. Thank you.